Hello everyone. Back again with film recaps. In this video, I'm going to recap one of the psychological horror films from 2021, titled A House on the Bayou. Before we get to the storyline, I'd like to wish everyone a happy and great day. Without further ado, let's get straight to the storyline. The film begins with Jessica, anxiously awaiting her husband John's return from work, her tear-filled eyes hinting at the burden of troubling news she carries. When John questions the reason behind Jessica's gloomy face, she reveals her knowledge of his affair with one of his students named Vivian. John wants to explain, but Jessica isn't interested in hearing it. Because she loves her daughter, Anna, and the life they have built together, she doesn't want to throw it all away by divorcing John. In order to restore their relationship, Jessica lays down 3 conditions. John must never see Vivian again other than to tell her that their relationship is over. Also, they must never disclose this truth to Anna, and lastly, they will go on a family vacation to reconnect. The husband enthusiastically agrees to satisfy all 3 of Jessica's requirements, after learning that divorce is not an option. The family plans a vacation to Bayou, where they will stay in a giant house in the middle of nowhere.
Wait until you see the pool.
The owner of the house, who happens to be selling it, enlisted Jessica's agency to oversee the arrangements. While Jess prepares it for the market, they have graciously allowed Jessica and her family to stay there temporarily. Jessica had been telling John for months that she wanted to stay in the house, but the husband couldn't even remember what she said. Inside the house, Anna releases her beloved cat, Toby, and lets him roam around the room. The couple's relationship has undergone a noticeable change, and Jessica finds herself easily irritable, often mentioning John's infidelity as a painful reminder. She then instructs John to purchase wine and veal meat for their evening meal. Despite being aware of John's dislike for veal cutlets, she insists on making them, seemingly doing so as a revenge tactic. Anyway, John takes Anna grocery shopping, and we see that the suspicious shopkeeper keeps staring at them. The father deliberately avoids purchasing veal cutlets, fully aware of Jessica's intention to prepare them for dinner. Meanwhile, Anna encounters a teenage boy named Isaac, who quickly attempts to befriend her. He compliments Anna's beauty, and then begins asking about her stay in Bayou. Before leaving the shop, Isaac invites Anna to get ice cream sometime, to which Anna responds with a wide smile. At the checkout counter, John tells his daughter that the store is out of veal cutlets, and the shop owner hands them the receipt for their grocery purchases. However, things take a strange turn for John when he notices an ominous message on the receipt: "You are being watched by the devil." Disturbed by this eerie note, John decides never to visit the shop again, feeling uneasy about the situation. Upon arriving home, John and Anna discover Jessica attempting to open a door using a screwdriver. Since she doesn't have the keys to this door, plus, this room wasn't on the house plan, she is curious about what lies beyond. At the same time, she questions John about the veal cutlets, and John explains that the veal cutlets are out of stock. Just then, the doorbell rings, revealing Isaac, who extends an invitation to the family for dinner. It turns out that Isaac is the grandson of the old man at the shop, and here Jessica learns that Isaac will be preparing veal cutlets for dinner, because there are a lot of them on display in their store. Hearing this makes Jessica upset and disappointed, and so, she promptly accepts the invitation. Jessica then confronts John, who becomes defensive and continues to lie to her. Additionally, he expresses reluctance about going to the dinner this evening, because of the inappropriate note Grandpappy wrote on his receipt. Jessica thinks of the message as a joke, and she brings up about her husband's cheating again, prompting an angry response from John, who says that he feels better when he is with Vivian than when he is with Jessica. Jessica breaks down in tears, and John finally comprehends his past mistakes, and sincerely apologizes for his recklessness. Anna inadvertently overhears their intense argument, causing her immense stress, and leading to a nosebleed. Since Anna is not feeling well, Jessica decides to call off the dinner, but she doesn't have Isaac's number to inform him. Just as John expresses his intention to visit the grocery store and apologize for their absence, a knock resounds at the door. To their surprise, it's Isaac. He explains that their oven malfunctioned, which ruined their cooking plan, so the next best thing they thought was to bring the food to join the family for dinner. Unwillingly, the couple extends a hesitant welcome to Isaac and his grandpappy into their home, but John remains uneasy about his presence. Out of curiosity, he asks the old man about the message he wrote on the receipt. Grandpappy then tells John that the devil is watching us all the time. Some of us invite them in, and he felt John needed to hear those words. Meanwhile, Isaac reveals that his parents passed away years ago from bone cancer, and since then, Grandpappy has raised him as his own. When Jessica asks about the true owner of the house they're staying in, Isaac reveals that they don't spend much time here, so he is unaware of the details. Jessica finds it somewhat peculiar because Isaac is the closest neighbor, and still knows nothing about the owner. As they gather to share the meal, Jessica continues to experience an eerie sensation in the presence of Isaac and Grandpappy. The atmosphere turns creepier as Isaac requests Jessica to light a candle, and what adds to the unease is that he knows exactly where the candles are.
How did you know where the candles are?
I guess cats aren't the only ones that can sense things.
Jessica then gets some matches for Isaac, and then she and John have a serious talk about how they need to kick their guests out. However, when they return to the table, Anna excitedly tells them that Isaac lit the candle with his finger, which was a cool trick. Jessica tells Isaac that he and Grandpappy should leave immediately after dinner, but their request doesn't yield the expected response. Isaac is upset by how they are treated, and points out the vacant rooms in the house, suggesting they could stay overnight. Among these rooms, he even mentions the locked room Jessica had been trying to open earlier, but before John can inquire further about how he knew it, Anna's nose begins to bleed again.
Feel good. Oh, get her.
Hey, baby.
Concerned for their daughter's well-being, the couple sternly orders Isaac to leave their house. However, Isaac's demeanor begins to reveal his true, unsettling nature. Adding to the escalating tension, they discover that Anna's cat has been locked inside the mysterious room, and Isaac possesses the only key to it. John attempts to snatch the key from Isaac, but their efforts prove futile. Unsettling noises emanate from the locked room, suggesting that Toby is under attack by an unknown entity. Faced with the puzzling situation, John commands Grandpappy to leave the house with his grandson, and here, Grandpappy cryptically responds that Isaac is not his grandson. The old man also suggests that a coyote may have entered the room with Toby, prompting John to once again request the key from Isaac, who this time tells him to look in his back pocket. He successfully acquires the key from Isaac, only to be consumed by anger as the key fails to unlock the door. When Isaac goes to the bathroom, Grandpappy tells them that he has something to talk about. The grandfather finally reveals that their intentions aren't for robbery. He cryptically remarks that lying, cheating and murder will open a door, with his gaze clearly directed at John. The old man discloses that Isaac isn't his biological grandchild, but rather an orphan who appeared one summer, walked out of the bayou, and ended up in his care. According to him, Isaac possesses a virtuous Christian spirit. Even though he has lived with Grandpappy for decades, he doesn't seem to age, which John claims doesn't make any sense. Since the old man has something more to tell the family about Isaac, he gets up to put some music so Isaac can't hear their talk, but unexpectedly,
Are you telling me that you found out about us?
I wasn't careful enough.
a recording of John's final encounter with Vivian begins to play. The recording unveils the shocking truth that John disregarded Jessica's warning, and continued meeting Vivian, going as far as promising to divorce Jessica upon their return from vacation, so he could start his new life with Vivian. John's frustration mounts as he blames Grandpappy for intentionally exposing him in front of his daughter, but the old man thinks it's one of Isaac's magic tricks. Discovering the extent of her husband's deceit, Jessica decides to initiate divorce proceedings. Just as she prepares to leave with Anna, Isaac emerges from the bathroom, surprisingly holding Toby in his arms. Assessing the situation, John suddenly accuses Jessica of orchestrating a spiteful scheme to set him up with Isaac and Grandpappy's involvement. Jessica denies any knowledge of these men, insisting she has never seen them before in her life. Just then, the family's attention abruptly shifts as a coyote is seen outside the window, allowing Isaac to retrieve a hidden gun from under the table. With their lives hanging in the balance, the family unwillingly agrees to obey Isaac's commands, but first, they have to deal with his psycho self, who is videotaping himself with Jessica's camera for no reason. He hands the gun to Grandpappy, and escorts John outside for a private conversation. Both of them walk away from the house, and in the garden, something unexpected happens.
This wasn't the deal we made. What the fuck are you doing in there?
It is revealed that John has hired Isaac to murder Jessica. From the very beginning, John had orchestrated a scheme, aware of Jessica's desire to visit the house. He employed Isaac, a 21-year-old army man, intending to stage a robbery so that Jessica's death would look like an accident. However, the actions of Isaac and Grandpappy go beyond what John had paid for, and now he urges Isaac to speed up the job, but Isaac advises him to reconsider his choices. John remains resolute in his order for Isaac to shoot Jessica in the head, so John can build a new life with Vivian, while Isaac will receive 100 grand. Meanwhile, Jessica proposes a deal to Grandpappy, suggesting that if he allows her and her daughter to escape, she will offer him everything she has as a reward. Anna says that they can't leave her father behind to die, and then Grandpappy replies that he can't betray Isaac. Before Jessica can persuade him, Isaac returns from the garden. Finally, Isaac discloses his plan to Jessica. After confining the family within the locked room, he intends to commit a robbery, stealing the money and the SUV. Before his departure, he will contact the authorities, pretending to be an informant to report the supposed theft. With Grandpappy clutching a gun, Jessica finds herself bound to follow Isaac's every command. The mysterious men escort the family to the locked room, directing John to enter first. Once again, their actions disrupt the plan, but John, unable to voice his objections, must place his trust in them. As John steps inside, Isaac promptly locks the door.
Isaac, what are you doing?
Let me out, Isaac. Isaac! Open the door!
Isaac then reveals a shocking truth about John's history of infidelity with numerous women, and advises Jessica not to forgive her husband's mistakes, and face the truth this time. As John pleads with Anna to disregard Isaac's words, the doorbell rings, prompting Jessica to check the visitor's identity, as per Isaac's instructions. The unexpected visitor turns out to be Vivian, who arrives after receiving a distressing message from John. Setting their differences aside, Jessica discloses the robbery situation, saying that Vivian was lured there by Isaac using John's phone. She urgently instructs Vivian to seek assistance at the nearest police station, and takes a mace from her for the future as a defense tool. As Jessica's delay raises suspicion, Isaac directs Grandpappy to take Anna and retrieve gasoline. John then threatens Isaac, warning of dire consequences for his betrayal, and so, Isaac instructs John to explore the closet and discover an escape route himself. On the other hand, as Vivian struggles to start the car, she realizes the door is jammed, leaving her trapped inside. Meanwhile, Grandpappy arrives with the gasoline, and instructs Anna to douse Vivian's car with it. Jessica requests the old man to let Vivian go, but she is compelled to obey under the threat of a gun. Ignoring Vivian's desperate screams and appeals, Grandpappy sets the car ablaze. Jessica uses a hammer to deliver multiple fatal blows to Grandpappy's skull, bringing about his demise. She tries to rescue Vivian, but it is too late, as the fire has already engulfed the entire car. Since Isaac has all the keys, they can't use her car to escape. The mother leaves Anna with the gun and the mace, while still having the will to head inside the house to rescue her cheating husband, unaware of the shocking discovery awaiting her. She stumbles upon John lying on the floor with a coyote beside him, his intestines gruesomely sticking out from his abdomen. John tells Jessica that Isaac told him that Vivian is here, so Jessica tells John that Vivian is still alive to see what he's going to say. Again to Jessica's dismay, John asks her to tell Vivian that he loves her. As Jessica closes the door, the sounds of Coyote's deadly bites and the demise of John echo in her ears. Upon her return to the garden, Jessica is confronted with another problem. Isaac has seized Anna as his hostage, expressing his desire for her to become his wife. Isaac then discloses to Jessica that it was John who hired them to carry out her murder, but she's still unable to believe it. According to Isaac, John deserves to be killed, not Jessica. Anna then seizes the opportunity to mace Isaac, while Jessica wrests the gun from his grasp, and without hesitation, she fires at him. Here she discovers that his claims of wanting to marry Anna were mere jokes. Isaac confesses that he perceives himself as a moral compass, guiding people who have lost their way. He discloses that he and Grandpappy constructed the house specifically for individuals like John, cheaters, liars and sinners, who are strangely drawn to it. He also reveals that he has existed for centuries, unsure if he is a demon, an angel, or simply a confused kid. With his last breath, Isaac hands Jessica her car keys, granting her a chance to escape the horrifying ordeal. After fleeing from the nightmare, Jessica rushes to the nearest police station, seeking assistance in finding her husband. However, the police officer dismisses her explanation, labeling it as mere confusion since there is no record of a house matching her description. Jessica then gives the officer the address, and asks her to take her to the house, while she leaves Anna at the police station. The lady officer and Jessica visit the location of the house, but to Jessica's astonishment, there is no house there, and the land is empty. However, her wedding ring is still there, which she threw at John Pryor that night. Faced with no evidence to support her claims, Jessica reluctantly decides to return. On their way back, the lady officer says Jessica is not the first person to come to her with a crazy story about a house. She then urges Jessica to open the glove compartment, where she discovers the same camera from the house. As she plays the recorded video, she is utterly shocked to hear Isaac's voice declaring that he is right behind her, confirming that they are still alive. The lady officer then discloses that Isaac and Grandpappy exist beyond human understanding, and assist the authorities in maintaining order. Plus, the officers will protect Isaac while he takes care of those who commit evil. Hearing this, Jessica plans to expose her story to the public, but no one would believe her. The lady officer advises her to remain calm and embrace the second chance given to her by Isaac, emphasizing the importance of kindness in this new lease on life. The movie ends with Jessica and Anna finding solace in each other's embrace, while Isaac and Grandpappy embark on another mission to lure yet another evildoer towards their ultimate destination, hell. Okay guys. That's all the recap of A House on the Bayou 2021. Thanks for watching. See you again in the next video.